David and Angela came to Mississippi for their honeymoon, and they were never seen again. 47 years later, their bodies were found, sealed inside a hotel wall. No one knew. Not the staff, not the police. Only a contractor dared to knock down the hidden wall during a renovation. And what he found next was terrifying. A journal, a lawsuit, and a cold-blooded murder hidden in plain sight. Who killed them and why? What really happened that night in hotel room 313? Ethan, the foreman, doesn't believe in ghosts. He believes in mortgage payments. He believes in keeping his 6-man crew working. He believes in the $3 million contract that could pull his construction company back from the edge. So when the developer offers him the Cedar Peak hotel renovation, 7 stories, 70 rooms, full gut job, he says yes. Even though the bid is oddly high, even though the developer admits 3 other contractors refused it, even though Ethan's own crew goes quiet the moment he tells them where they're headed, they call it the Screaming Hotel. Night workers swear they hear voices on the 2nd floor. Crying, whispers, fists on the walls. 3 renovation crews walked out in the last few years. One site supervisor claimed he saw a door that wasn't supposed to be there. Another said his tools kept vanishing and reappearing in different rooms. The last crew quit after 2 weeks, blaming structural issues no engineer could verify. So after he told them where they would be working, his crew chief mutters, "The Screaming Hotel?" Wiping sweat from his neck despite the cold. "Boss, you serious?" "It's just a hotel," Ethan says, rolling out a blueprint on his truck and smoothing it with his forearm. "Old buildings make noise, that's all. Picture this for a moment. A lobby frozen in time. Ceilings are too low in some areas. Corners that feel like they bend away from you. A silence that presses on your chest. And that smell, faint, rotten. Like something hidden in the walls never forgot how to decay. If you're wondering why no one has touched Cedar Peak since 1978, this is why. The old owner died here. His son sold it off, and every contractor since then walked away. But Ethan can't walk away. Not when he's 6 months behind on his business loan. Not when Walker Construction is the only thing his father left him. Not when Laura keeps whispering that things will work out, even though she can't hide the fear in her eyes when she opens the mail, so he swallows the unease. He buries the stories he's heard, and he gives one simple order, top floor first. We work our way down, if only Ethan knew. Working from the top down was the one mistake everyone before him made, the mistake no one lived long enough to explain, and this is where everything begins to go wrong. Most people will scroll away and forget this ever happened. But not you. You have stayed. So please subscribe, because some mind-blowing stories are coming your way. For months, everything stays quiet, almost too quiet. They clear the 6th floor first, then the 5th, then the 4th and the 3rd. Nothing unusual, just dust, noise, long hours, work they've done 100 times before. But the calm never lasts forever in places like this. It all begins to change the moment they step onto the 2nd floor. Picture Ethan pausing on the landing, feeling something he can't explain settling over his shoulders, like the building finally noticed him. The temperature drops almost instantly, 10 degrees at least. The lights flicker even though their power setup is solid, and that smell he hoped he imagined on day 1? It's back, sharper now, cold, sterile, like a hospital hallway nobody has walked in years. His crew feels it too. You can tell from the way Darius keeps looking behind him, like someone might be standing there if he checks too slowly. 2 younger workers ask if they can switch floors. They remember the hotel's reputation, the same one Ethan tried to brush off in the lobby. Ethan forces a steady voice and tells them to toughen up. They need to stay on schedule. They need this job. They begin gutting rooms, all routine. broken dressers, cracked plaster, old flooring, nothing the crew hasn't seen before. But routine only lasts until they reach the space between room 312 and room 314. Ethan stands there with his blueprints in hand. He checks them once, then again. According to the plans, there should be a room 313 tucked right between them, 12 by 18 feet, identical layout to every other room on the floor. But the hallway doesn't agree. There's no door, no room number, just a smooth wall coated in fading cream paint, as if nothing was ever meant to be there. Darius freezes behind him. "That's the room," he whispers, so soft Ethan barely hears him. "What room?" Ethan asks, but the question feels pointless. A cold heaviness is already forming in his chest, starting to crawl upward. Darius finally meets his eyes, and that's when Ethan sees real fear. "Room 313, Darius says. His voice trembles. "They say that's where the screaming comes from." And for the first time since stepping into the Cedar Peak, Ethan wonders if he has just made the mistake that will cost them all. Ethan has heard the Cedar Peak stories his whole life. The same stories he brushed aside when he first took the contract. Every construction worker in Jackson knows them. Late shift guards hearing cries behind locked walls, cleaners refusing to step onto the second floor, guests complaining about sounds no hotel should ever produce. But one story stayed with him more than the rest. A security guard back in the 90s lasted only one shift. He said he heard a woman sobbing somewhere inside the walls. He followed the sound down the hallway, slow, nervous, until he found a spot between the rooms. Picture him there, alone, late at night, pressing his ear against cold plaster. And that's when he said he heard two voices, a man and a woman, pleading, begging, "Please let us out. Please, we can't breathe." The guard panicked, called the police. They searched the entire floor, nothing. They tried reassuring him, old pipes, settling wood, aging buildings. He turned in his badge before sunrise. And he wasn't the only one who ran. A housekeeper quit in '88 after her vacuum unplugged itself again and again, 7 times in one shift. She would plug it in, turn her back, and snap, dead. She said the plug felt warm when she picked it up, like someone had been holding it. Another worker in '93 swore he saw footprints on the hallway carpet, wet ones, fresh ones, 2 sets, one large, one smaller, walking side by side. They didn't come from anywhere. They didn't lead anywhere. They simply appeared. And then they stopped, right at the blank wall between rooms 312 and 314. Like someone walked straight into the wall and vanished. The same wall Ethan is staring at right now. He remembered all these stories when he first bid on the job, and he pushed them aside. Old buildings groan, pipes echo, people exaggerate. But here, in this hallway that shouldn't feel this cold, standing in front of a wall that shouldn't exist, Ethan feels something he hasn't felt since he was a child. Fear. Not practical fear, not fear of invoices or injuries or delays. Something older, darker, bone deep, primal fear. The kind your body understands long before your mind does. The kind that tells you one thing, run. But Ethan doesn't move, because whatever waits behind that missing doorway feels like it's already watching him. If you enjoy stories like this, do subscribe, 'cause more mind-chilling stories coming up in the days. The old owner always insisted room 313 had been sealed. Water damage, structural issues, floor joists compromised. Too costly to fix, so they closed it off. But now, standing here with the blueprints spread across his hands, Ethan sees the part nobody ever questioned. The room is on the plans, clear as day, room 313, perfect dimensions. Yet from the hallway, there's nothing, no door, no frame, no sign it was ever real. And for the first time, Ethan wonders if the stories weren't just stories. He exhales. Hard. "We're opening it," he says. Darius's eyes widened. "Boss, maybe we should—" Ethan cuts him off, snapping the blueprints closed. "We're opening it. That's what they pay us for." But you can hear the hesitation under his voice, a quiet tremor he hopes no one notices. He calls the developer, Paul Whitfield, pacing the second-floor hallway, as the phone rings. "Paul, it's Ethan at the Cedar Peak." "Yeah. Listen, we've got a situation." He glances at the wall again. "Room 313 ISNT here. Blueprint says it should be. Hallway says otherwise." He pauses, listening, his brow tightening. "Then, structural damage? You got any actual reports on that?" Another pause. "Right. That's what I figured. We're going in through 314. Ethan ends the call. Whitfield gave a simple answer. "Do whatever you need." He's never seen the structural reports, never saw repair permits, only a note saying, "Room 313 has been out of service since 1981. The same year the screaming stories began, so Ethan decides they'll break through 314, knock down the shared wall, finally see what's hiding on the other side. That night, he couldn't sleep. He lies flat on his back, staring into darkness, listening to the faint creak of the house settling. But every sound reminds him of that hallway, that wall, that sealed room. Laura rolls over beside him, mattress springs sighing. "You okay?" Laura's voice cuts through the quiet of the bedroom. Ethan doesn't answer right away. Because how do you tell your wife you're afraid of a room that supposedly doesn't exist? Ethan stares at the ceiling fan. A dark shadow spins lazily above them. He's thinking about work, about the hotel. The hotel? She presses, "Yeah." She stays silent for a moment, then sits up, tugging the sheet around her. "You're worried about something," she says, eyes sharp. She always notices. Ethan hesitates. Laura has known him for 22 years. She can read his silences better than most people read words. Finally, he speaks. "There's a sealed room," he says, "second floor. Closed since 81. We're opening it tomorrow. What's in it?" She asks softly. "I don't know," he admits. "That's what worries me." "You think something's wrong," she whispers. "I think something's been wrong for years," he says. "I just don't know what." Laura sits up straighter. "Ethan, if you think there's danger—" He shakes his head. "It's not dangerous. Not exactly. It's just—" He struggles for words. "You know how sometimes you just know something's off? Before proof, before evidence, you just feel it in your gut." "Yes," she says, squeezing his hand. "That's what this feels like," Ethan says quietly. Laura holds his hand tighter. "Then trust your gut. Be careful tomorrow." And for the first time, Ethan wonders if his gut is trying to warn him about more than just a room. Something in that wall has been waiting for them. The next morning, Ethan and Darius stand in room 314. The room is stripped bare, just studs, subflooring. Old pipes, nothing remarkable, nothing alive. Ethan crouches, pencil in hand, marking the wall. The shared wall between 314 and the ghostly room 313. Darius lifts the sledgehammer, knuckles tight around the handle. "You sure about this, boss?" he asks, voice low. Ethan nods once. Jaw firm. "Do it." The first swing hits drywall. Dust erupts like a cloud of white smoke. Plaster rains down. He swings again. And again. Each strike opens the wall more. 10 minutes later, a hole large enough to peer through stands before them. Ethan grabs a flashlight, shines it into the darkness beyond. A room. The room. Room 313. Old furniture sits untouched. A bed frame, a dresser, dust thick on every surface, cobwebs in corners, no sagging floor, no collapsed beams, no water stains, nothing to explain the sealed wall. "Looks stable," Ethan says. "Keep going." They widen the hole. Ethan steps through carefully, floor solid beneath his boots, no creaks, no sudden shifts. The room is frozen in time. 1978 decor. Floral wallpaper faded but intact. Brown carpet, worn and stained. A rotary phone rests on the nightstand. Curtains drawn tight over the window. And the smell. It's stronger here now. Chemical. Sharp. Formaldehyde. Ethan inhales slowly. A chill runs down his spine, because for the first time, room 313 feels alive. Something waits in the corners of that dusty darkness, something that has been sealed away for decades. "Bring the work lights," Ethan calls through the jagged hole. Darius passes the LEDs over. Ethan sets them up. Sudden white light slices through the dust. The shadows retreat, revealing a room that feels smaller than it should. Ethan frowns. He grabs the tape measure. Blueprints say 18 feet deep, but measuring from the door to back wall, 13. 5 feet missing, he mutters, voice muffled by dust. Darius climbs through, stirring up clouds of powder. "What do you mean missing?" he asks, eyes wide. Ethan waves the tape. It's too small. Something's been erased. They move toward the back wall, the one opposite the hallway door. Ethan knocks. Hollow. The side walls are solid, studs beneath the drywall, but the back wall, empty, completely hollow. "There's something behind this," Ethan says, voice tight. "Like what?" Darius leans in, flashlight slicing the shadows. Ethan studies it. The wall is newer, smoother texture, paint slightly different, barely noticeable, but someone built this wall later, to hide something. Room 313, sealed for decades. Stories whispered through hallways, all pointing here. "We're taking it down," Ethan says, resolute. Darius lifts the sledgehammer, swings. The wall shatters too easily. Materials from the 80s, judging by the splinters and plaster dust. They carve a hole large enough to peer inside. Ethan sweeps the flashlight across the space. He stumbles back, breath catching. What he sees on the other side isn't just a room. It's something else, something waiting. Behind the false wall, Ethan sees it clearly now. A narrow space, 5 feet deep, exactly like the blueprint said. But it isn't empty. On the floor, a mattress, and on it, 2 figures. Motionless, Darius stumbles back, tripping slightly against the wall. "Oh, Jesus," he whispers, voice trembling. "Boss, are those—" Ethan shoves him gently back toward the hole, hand firm on his chest. "Back up. Now. Don't touch anything." Voice calm, but his hands betray him, shaking under the tension. They widen the hole. The LED work light slices through decades of darkness, illuminating the hidden space. 2 young adults lie side by side on the mattress. Early 20s, black, their fingers intertwined. The woman in a white slip, the man in an undershirt and boxer shorts. Their skin is leathery, dried with time, mummified. Yet their faces are peaceful, eyes closed, as if they've simply fallen asleep. Ethan recalls the rumors of room 313. The screaming, the vanished footsteps, the sealed walls. Next to them, everything is arranged with meticulous care. A white wedding dress, a black tuxedo, white heels, black shoes neatly placed, an unopened champagne bottle, 2 glasses, a vase of flowers, long dead, just brittle stems. Ethan steps back. Boot hits something hard. He looks down. A leather journal. Black cover, worn edges. It lies in the main room near the false wall, as if someone dropped it before sealing this space decades ago. Ethan bends to pick it up, heart hammering, and the pages whisper secrets he never imagined. Ethan picks up the journal. He knows he shouldn't. It's a crime scene, but his hands move first. Can you imagine holding someone's final words? Knowing what's behind that wall? He opens it. First page, David Bush, neat, careful handwriting. He flips to the last entry. June 6th. Angela and I are married. Best day of my life. We're at the Cedar Peak Hotel in Jackson. Honeymoon weekend, room by the boiler, not the suite. But we don't care. Tomorrow I will meet the owner about the discrimination case. He knows he'll lose. Tonight, we're just happy. Angela looks beautiful. I can't believe she's my wife. Nothing can ruin this moment. Ethan reads it twice. Throat tightens. Vision blurs. Can you picture reading a diary that ends with death decades later? David and Angela Bush, newlyweds, 24 years old, came here for their honeymoon 47 years ago, sealed inside a wall, left to die. What would you do if you found this? Darius, Ethan whispers. Call 911. Tell them we found bodies. Send homicide. Darius fumbles his phone. Hands shake. Unlock code mistyped twice. Finally, connection. Ethan hears the words, Cedar Peak Hotel, human remains. Send someone immediately. Ethan looks through the hole again. Hands joined. Peaceful faces, frozen in time. Can you imagine seeing that? The Cedar Peak Hotel isn't haunted. It never was. It's a tomb. For decades, nobody knew. Sirens wail in the distance. Ethan and Darius climb back through the hole. Room 314. Feels quiet now. They sit in the hallway, waiting. Imagine sitting there, knowing what's behind the wall, knowing no one ever saw it for decades. Ethan thinks, the security guard who heard voices begging, the housekeeper whose vacuum unplugged itself, the maintenance worker who saw footprints vanish into nothing. Maybe the Cedar Peak Hotel was haunted. Maybe David and Angela tried to get help, tried to make noise, tried to be seen, and nobody listened until now. The Jackson Police Department arrives, 8 units, ambulances, medical examiner, crime scene investigators. The second floor is sealed, yellow tape across the stairwell, officers at every entrance. Ethan sits in the hallway. Cops swarm around him. He's given his statement 3 times. Same story each time. Yes, I'm the contractor. Yes, I found the bodies. No, I didn't know they were there. Yes, I touched the journal. Yes, I know I shouldn't have. An hour later, Detective Sarah Harris arrives. 48 years old, black woman. Short natural hair, streaked with gray. 22 years on the Jackson PD. 17 years in homicide. She steps into room 314. Looks through the hole in the false wall. Her face goes pale. Oh my God, she whispers. A uniformed officer approaches. Detective, you okay? Can you imagine seeing that for the first time? Harris raises one hand, silent. Wait. Eyes locked on the bodies. Finally, she turns to the officer, face a mask of cold professionalism. Get me everything on missing persons from 1978, specifically anyone who vanished from this hotel, and find me the contractor who discovered them. Because what they are about to uncover will change everything about the Cedar Peak Hotel. The officer gestures toward Ethan. That's him. Ethan Walker. Detective Sarah Harris approaches. She already looks drained, and the day has just begun. Mr. Walker, she says, I'm Detective Harris. I need your full account. Ethan nods. Yes, ma'am. Start from the beginning, she instructs. Every detail matters. Ethan exhales. He recounts the renovation contract, the sealed second-floor room, the wall in room 314, the cramped space behind it, breaking through the false wall, finding the hidden room, the bodies, and the journal. Harris's gaze sharpens. You read it, she states, no question in her voice. Ethan swallows hard. Yes, I shouldn't have, but I did. Her eyes fix on him. What did it say? He answers carefully. Names, David and Angela Bush. They were on their honeymoon, June 1978. The final entry mentioned a discrimination case. David was supposed to meet the hotel owner the next day. Harris closes her eyes. When she opens them, they glisten. Can you imagine seeing that? Reading words written decades before a couple's tragic fate? Ethan asks softly, almost to himself. You knew them? My mother handled their case, Harris says. Her voice quivers. I was 13. I remember her talking about it. A young couple just married from Atlanta came to Jackson for their honeymoon. They never returned home. The hotel owner, Henry Caldwell, claimed they checked out Sunday morning. My mother didn't believe him, but she had no proof, no witnesses, just his word against theirs. The case went cold. Think about it, a story frozen for decades, and only now, someone finally uncovered the truth. He lied, Ethan says, voice low. Harris shakes her head. He killed them, she says, sealed them in that wall. And for decades, no one ever found them. She looks at Ethan, eyes heavy. My mother passed away 2 years ago. She never stopped thinking about David and Angela Bush, never stopped wondering what became of them. Ethan exhales. I'm sorry, he murmurs. Harris gives a small, steady nod. Don't be sorry. You found them. You gave them a voice. She pulls out her notebook. I need everything, she says. Timeline. What you saw, what you touched. Every little detail. This is a murder investigation, Mr. Walker. Someone killed them. Someone built that wall. Someone kept this secret for 47 years, and I will find out who. At 2 p.m., the medical examiner arrives. Dr. Laura Montgomery, white, mid-50s, 12 years experience. She examines the bodies in the hidden room. Preliminary cause of death, carbon monoxide poisoning. Both victims. Signs are clear, cherry red skin under the mummification. Decomposition and preservation point to death between June 6th and May 14th, 1978. Bodies treated with formaldehyde shortly after death. Someone knew what they were doing, Dr. Montgomery explains. Embalming knowledge, or access to someone who did. Harris studies Ethan. When was that false wall built? She asks. Ethan steps forward, looking at the materials. Drywall, studs, joint compound. I'd say early to mid to 80s, definitely not part of the original construction. Imagine discovering a wall built to hide murder, a secret kept for decades. Harris writes quickly in her notebook. So someone killed them, she says, preserved them, built a wall around them, sealed the room from the hallway. She looks at Montgomery. This wasn't panic, it was planned. Calculated, premeditated. Montgomery nods in agreement. Who owned the hotel in 1978? Harris asks. An officer flips through his notes. Henry Caldwell. From 1963 until 2009. Where is his son now? Simon Caldwell. Lives in Crestwood. He inherited the property when his father passed. Harris closes her notebook. Set up an interview. I want to speak with him today. That evening, Ethan goes home, exhausted, drained. Laura sees him enter. She doesn't need words to know. Ethan sits. He tells her everything. The sealed room, the hidden wall, David and Angela Bush, the journal, the note about the discrimination lawsuit. The detective's mother worked the case decades ago. Laura sinks into a chair. Those poor people, she whispers. 24 years old, just married, and someone killed them on their honeymoon. Ethan shudders. The detective suspects the hotel owner, Henry Caldwell. Laura looks at him. Can she prove it? I don't know, he admits. He's been dead for years. Can you imagine uncovering a secret like this? A crime frozen in time for decades, and only now brought to light. Ethan can't sleep. He lies in bed, mind racing, thinking about David and Angela, about the journal, about how full of joy they were, and how someone stole it all from them. At 3 a.m. he can't stay in bed any longer. He grabs his laptop, types quickly, David Bush, Angela Bush, missing Jackson 1978. Articles appear. Jackson News, June 9, 1978, Atlanta couple reported missing. David Bush, 24, and Angela Simpson Bush, 23, were reported missing by their families on Monday. They had checked into the Cedar Peak Hotel in Jackson on Friday, June 6 for their honeymoon. Hotel manager Henry Caldwell claimed the couple left Sunday morning, May 14. Families insist the Bushes never returned home. Their car remained in the hotel parking lot. Police opened an investigation. Ethan keeps digging. He finds a follow-up article from July 1978. Missing couple case stalls. Authorities admit no progress has been made. Detective Simon Hayes says, "No evidence of foul play has been discovered. All leads have been exhausted. We believe the couple may have left voluntarily. The families strongly dispute this. After that, the story vanishes. No updates, no closure. The case is forgotten." Ethan refines his search. David Bush, lawyer, Atlanta discrimination. He finds it. Atlanta Journal-Constitution, May 12, 1978. Civil rights attorney files complaint against hotel. David Bush, freshly graduated from Emory Law School, filed with the Mississippi Civil Rights Commission. The claim, systematic discrimination at the Cedar Peak Hotel, cancellations of confirmed bookings, inferior rooms assigned, higher rates charged to black guests. Ethan reads, stunned. Everything is connecting now. This was a pattern. The article quotes Bush. A way to discourage black guests while staying just inside the law. Henry Caldwell, the hotel owner, denied it, called the claims baseless, said it was just a publicity stunt. There it was. The motive. David Bush, 24, freshly graduated from law school, filing a complaint that could ruin Caldwell's business. And 1 month later, David and Angela were gone. Ethan picks up the phone at 6 a.m., calls Detective Harris. "Mr. Walker?" She answers immediately. "I found articles," he says. David Bush filed a discrimination complaint against the Cedar Peak Hotel in May, 1 month before he and Angela died. Silence. Finally, she speaks. "Send me everything. I'm interviewing Simon Caldwell this afternoon. This changes everything." Simon Caldwell lives in Crestwood, the wealthy side of Jackson. Big colonial house, white columns, circular driveway. Everything screams old money. Detective Harris brings Ethan along. He shouldn't be there. Technically, he's a civilian, not law enforcement. But Harris says, "You found them. You gave them a voice. You deserve to see this through." He found David and Angela. He gave them justice. Imagine standing outside a mansion knowing the people inside might hold the key to a decades-old murder. Could you stay calm? The door opens. Simon Caldwell stands there, dressed in golf clothes, polo shirt, khakis. He looks annoyed at the police presence. "Mr. Caldwell," Detective Harris says, "this is Ethan Walker. We have questions about room 313. Caldwell's face tightens. "I already told the officers," he says. "My father said it was sealed, structural damage. Water problems, something like that. Harris shakes her head. No water damage. Mr. Walker is a contractor. He's been inside that room. Floors solid, walls solid, no structural issues, not a single one. Caldwell shifts uncomfortably, then, maybe my father was mistaken. He crosses his arms weakly, trying to look firm. Harris steps closer. Your father wasn't mistaken. He lied. He didn't seal room 313 because of water. He did it because he killed 2 people and hid them inside. Caldwell recoils, stepping back. That's insane. My father would never. Harris cuts him off. David and Angela Bush, 24 years old, married just a week. They came to your father's hotel for their honeymoon in June 1978. He killed them, sealed them in a false wall, then sealed the whole room from the hallway. For decades, no one knew. Caldwell's chest puffs out in a weak attempt at defiance. His eyes, however, darted nervously to the door. I don't know anything about that, he stammers. Ethan steps forward, voice low and firm. When did you find out? Caldwell blinks at him, clearly confused. What? Imagine standing there, hearing a crime you never admitted, but the proof is right in front of you. Could you lie? If you find this story touching. Kindly comment I stand for justice. When did you know your father was a murderer? Harris asks. On his deathbed? Going through his papers? When? Caldwell straightens. I don't have to answer that. Harris shrugs. No, you don't. But I'm getting a warrant. Storage unit. Business records. Every document about the Cedar Peak Hotel. And if I find proof you knew about those bodies and stayed silent, 20 years minimum. Accessory. Obstruction of justice. I want my lawyer, Caldwell says, his voice suddenly small. That's your right, Harris says, snapping her notebook closed. We'll be in touch. They leave him at the doorway. A man with wealth, now frozen in panic. Ethan sits beside Harris in her car. He knows something, Ethan says. Yeah, she replies. And we're going to find out what? 3 days later, the warrant comes through. At 8 a.m., they meet at a storage facility in Norcross. Harris brings a team. 2 officers, a forensic accountant, a paralegal from the DA's office. The unit is packed. Boxes stacked to the ceiling. File cabinets crammed full. 50 years of records from the Cedar Peak Hotel. Can you imagine digging through decades of secrets, knowing what you might find could solve a 47-year-old murder? They start digging, box by box, file by file. Hours pass. Dust thickens. Nerves tighten. At noon, Ethan freezes. He's staring at a metal drawer labeled Legal 80s. He pulls it open. Lawsuits, complaints, old paper that feels dangerous to touch. Then, hidden in the back, Bush discrimination case. Detective, I got something. Harris hurries over. She opens the folder. Inside, letters between Henry Caldwell and his lawyer. They talk about strategy. They talk about fear. They talk about making David Bush go away. Then the bomb. A handwritten note on Cedar Peak Hotel letterhead, dated June 6, 1978. Bush and his wife checked in tonight. Room 313. Gave them the worst room on purpose by the boiler. If he wants to destroy my business, I'll destroy his honeymoon. Let's see how he likes being treated like in my hotel. Harris exhales, slow and sharp. This proves premeditation. He knew exactly who David was. He put him in that room on purpose. Ethan scans the drawer again. Keep looking. There has to be more. At the bottom of the cabinet, in a folder labeled Personal, they find it. A cassette tape. Labeled June 8, 1978. Harris holds it up like she's holding a live explosive. Does anyone have a cassette player? One of the officers sprints to his car. He comes back with an old boombox. Dusty, sun-faded, perfect. Harris wipes the play button with her sleeve. The team gathers around. Silence thickens. She slides the tape in. She presses play. A loud click echoes through the storage unit, and the room goes still. Static floods the air. Then a voice crawls through the speaker. A man, older, southern drawl slurred with liquor. "My name is Henry Whitman Caldwell. May 14, 2 in the morning. I'm recording this in case someone ever tries to pin this on me." Ethan stiffens. His stomach sinks like he already knows what's coming. The man continues. "That lawyer showed up Friday. David Bush. I knew exactly who he was. I knew he wanted to drag my hotel through the mud. So I stuck him in 313, worst room in the whole damn place, next to the boiler. Figured he'd complain, storm out, something I could twist in my favor later. A faint clatter of ice in a glass hits the tape. Someone drinking to steady their nerves or drown their conscience. The voice grows quieter. Saturday morning he came back to my office, told me he had proof, written statements from ex-workers I fired, the ones who claimed I treated black guests differently, said he had paperwork, said he was filing a full lawsuit, said he'd end my business, said I deserved it. A long silence, the kind that feels like a confession preparing to surface. I didn't plan it. God knows I didn't plan it. But this kid, 24, barely out of law school, standing there telling me he was going to tear down everything I built. I just snapped. Ethan feels the room tilt. Harris doesn't breathe. The voice goes on. After he walked out, I went downstairs, to the basement. There's a valve down there. Controls ventilation to each room, a shaky exhale. I shut off the vent to 313, then cracked open the gas line from the boiler. Just a little, just enough to let carbon monoxide drift in. The officers stare at the boombox like it's alive. The tape keeps rolling, and the worst is still coming. Ethan grips Harris's arm. His voice barely comes out. Carbon monoxide. They wouldn't smell it, wouldn't see it. They'd just drift off, like they were going to sleep. The tape crackles again. I went up Sunday, 6 a.m., before the staff started moving around. A shaky breath, used the master key. Opened the door, a pause long enough to feel like a lifetime. They were already gone, both of them, still in bed, holding hands. The man swallows. They looked peaceful. Ethan's stomach turns. Peaceful isn't the word he would use. The confession keeps unraveling. I called Paul. He's the embalmer, old friend. Told him there'd been an accident. He didn't ask questions. Came with formaldehyde. A faint rustle. Someone moving on tape. We treated the room, scrubbed the vents, made sure nothing would rot or smell. Then I built a false wall, 5 feet in from the original one. Put everything behind it. The bodies, the bags, their clothes. He exhales sharply, closed it up, drywalled over the hallway door, painted it. Room 313 stopped existing that day. Silence stretches, just the sound of the man breathing into the past. Monday morning, I filed a permit, gas leak, emergency closure, another bitter laugh. My buddy at the city approved it. No inspection, no questions. The voice shifts, resentful, unapologetic. I told the cops the Bushes checked out, signed them out myself in the logbook, a smug breath. They believed every word. Of course they did. I was a white hotel owner. Why wouldn't they? Another silence. Longer, darker. I don't feel guilty. Write that down. David Bush was trying to ruin me. I did what I had to do. Call it self-defense if you want. A click. The tape stops. No one in the unit moves. Not a muscle. Not a breath. The moment feels like the air has frozen solid. Finally, Harris speaks. Quiet, stunned, almost reverent. That's everything. Confession, intent, cover-up, all of it. She looks at Ethan, and while writing this story, I felt it too. The entire story has just shifted. Ethan shakes his head. He kept it all these years, he says. Insurance. Just in case someone started asking questions. But no one did. Harris pulls out her phone. I'm placing Simon Caldwell under arrest. Today, evidence keeps stacking. A letter. Simon's handwriting. December 2009, 1 month after his father died, I went through Dad's storage, found his safe. Inside, a cassette. Dad's voice. Confessing to murder. Confessing to David and Angela Bush. I didn't know what to do. If I went to the police, the families would sue the estate. Take everything. If I stayed quiet, maybe no one would ever find out. I'll sell the hotel, take the money, let the secret die with Dad. Harris photographs it all, bags it. Every word, every paper, every cassette. Evidence. Simon Caldwell knew. He knew his father was a murderer. He knew the bodies were hidden, and he kept quiet, to protect money. To protect himself, they drive to Crestwood. Harris brings backup. 4 patrol cars. The mansion sits silent. White columns gleam in the morning sun. Simon Caldwell steps onto the driveway. Simon Caldwell, Harris calls. You're under arrest. Accessory after the fact to murder. Obstruction of justice. Cuffs click. He protests. I want my lawyer. Harris doesn't raise her voice. You'll get one. Simon struggles, but the law has him now. I'm standing here wondering, how long can greed hide the truth? Harris turns to Ethan. We got them, she says quietly. Father and son. One's gone, but the other will finally answer for this. Ethan nods, but the victory feels thin, because 2 people are still gone forever, and their families lived with unanswered questions for 47 years. Still, this is the first step toward justice. Harris insists on driving Ethan to Atlanta. Her parents deserve to hear this face-to-face, she tells him. And she's right. Some news can't be delivered over a phone call, especially news like this. Southwest Atlanta, a modest home, trim lawn, quiet street. But you can feel something heavy in the air, as if the house itself has been waiting decades for answers. An elderly woman opens the door. Helen Simpson, small, delicate, eyes faded, until she saw the badge. Then everything sharpens, as if her heart recognizes the truth before the words are spoken. You found my baby? Her whisper trembles. Her hand covers her mouth, like she's afraid the answer might break her. Yes, ma'am, Harris says, and her voice isn't steady either. May we come in? Inside, they tell everything. The hidden room, the false wall, the journal, the confession tape, the son who kept the secret alive for money. Helen cries softly into her hands. Charles Simpson just sits there staring at the floor, 47 years of pain rearranging itself inside him. Why? He finally asks. Why would anyone do that to them? Harris answers gently. David was preparing a discrimination case against the hotel owner. He was young, smart, brave. Caldwell thought he might lose everything, so he killed them. Charles lifts his head, tears on his cheeks. He murdered my daughter over a lawsuit, not a question, a wound. Ethan steps forward. Mr. and Mrs. Simpson, I can't change what happened, but I promise you, I'm working with the new developer. We're creating a memorial, a permanent one. People will know what David stood for and what Angela endured. They won't be forgotten. And here, the audience feels the question hanging. Can a memorial ever heal a wound this deep? Helen reaches for Ethan's hands. They're small, trembling, but her grip is firm. Thank you, she whispers. Thank you for finding her. Thank you for bringing our baby back to us. And in that moment, you can almost feel the weight lifting from her chest, a weight she carried for 4 decades. They stay for nearly 2 hours, 2 hours of memories, 2 hours of stories that make the room feel full again. Helen brings out photo albums, faded pages, bright smiles, David in a sharp tux, Angela glowing in her wedding dress, both young, both excited, both completely unaware their future was about to be stolen. They were just starting their lives, Helen says softly. They wanted children. David wanted 3. Angela wanted 2. They were saving for a small house. They talked about growing old together, a pause, a breath she can barely take, and one man took all of that away because David had the courage to say, "No, this isn't right," because he refused to be treated like he didn't matter. David speaks for the first time. His voice is low but steady. David believed in the law, believed he could make things better for people like us, and someone killed him for believing in justice. Ethan sits there, listening, feeling every word. This isn't a headline, not a cold case, not an evidence folder. These were people with dreams, people with plans, people who should still be here. When it's time to leave, Helen steps forward. She hugs Ethan tightly like she's holding on to the person who finally ended her nightmare. "You're a good man," she murmurs. "David would have liked you." And as Ethan steps back onto the porch, the question hangs in the air. How many more secrets like this are still waiting behind walls no one has opened yet? 6 months have passed. Then the news breaks. Simon Caldwell pleads guilty. No deals, no excuses. Just the truth finally cornering him. The evidence crushes any fight he had left. His father's taped confession, his own handwritten admission, and every paper trail he hoped no one would ever find. The DA gives him 20 years. No shortcuts, no early release, real time. When the sentencing day arrives, the courtroom is full. Helen sat in the front row. David's brother flies in from California. Civil rights advocates fill entire benches. Reporters pack the back like a wall of cameras waiting to explode. Then the judge asks the room, "Does anyone wish to speak?" Helen rises slowly. The room goes silent. You can almost hear hearts beating. She steps toward Simon, looks him straight in the eyes. "You didn't kill my daughter," she says quietly, "but you let her stay dead for 47 years. The room shifts. Everyone feels that line. You knew she was trapped in that wall. You knew we were breaking under the weight of not knowing, and you still stayed silent. You chose money over decency, comfort over doing good, and for that, I can't forgive you." She returns to her seat. The judge delivers the sentence. 20 years. Guards step forward. Handcuffs click. Simon keeps his eyes down as they lead him away. He never turns around, not even once. Outside, the media swarms the steps. Questions fly. Microphones flash. But Ethan slips out quietly. Because this was never about attention. It was about 2 people who deserved justice long before he ever knew their names. 5 months later, the memorial is ready. Ethan built it with his own hands, with care, with purpose, with the weight of everything he learned. Large framed photos of David and Angela, their wedding smiles, newspaper clippings, David's legal drafts from the Southern Justice Coalition, Angela's certifications in social work, a timeline of Jackson's civil rights struggles, a reminder that their story wasn't isolated. It belonged to a larger fight, and centered in the memorial is a plaque in honor of David Bush and Angela Simpson Bush, May 14, 1978, newlyweds, dreamers. David was an advocate. He was killed for it, taken by hate. Their courage lives on. People gather around it. Some cry, some pray, some simply stand there, absorbing the truth. And as visitors read their story, one thought keeps rising. If David risked everything for justice in 1978, what are we doing with our voices today? Ethan didn't see any of this coming. One moment he was a contractor tearing out drywall. Now he's a man carrying a legacy he never asked for. After the case, he refuses to go back to life as if nothing happened. He pours himself into something new, the Bush Initiative, a training program that teaches contractors, builders, and renovators how to recognize signs of hidden crime scenes, how to pause before sealing something shut, how to trust their instincts, how to call investigators when something feels wrong. Within a decade, the initiative uncovers answers families thought would never come. 8 cold cases, 8 victims hidden in walls, crawl spaces, forgotten rooms. finally return to the people who love them. Ethan travels from one department to another, speaking at seminars, helping detectives, pushing the idea that ordinary workers can become the first defenders of forgotten victims. And every year, he returns to the memorial. 13 years after finding David and Angela, he stands inside it again. The date is the same, May 14th, the day their lives were taken. Angela and David are long gone now. They passed only months apart, but their family still comes. Their grandchildren walk through the exhibits, reading the plaques, touching the photos. A young woman approaches him, early 20s, gentle eyes, curls framing her face. For a heartbeat, he swears he's looking at Angela herself. "Mr. Walker?" she asks softly. "I'm Angela's granddaughter. Well, her sister's granddaughter. I just wanted to thank you for everything you did." Guilt presses into him the way it always does. "I only wish I'd found them sooner." She shakes her head. "You found them. That's what matters. My great-grandmother spent decades waking up every morning not knowing what happened to her child. Because of you, she didn't die wondering. You gave her something no one else could." Then she hands him an envelope. Inside is a single photograph. David and Angela on their wedding day, glowing with the kind of joy that comes from believing the world can only get better. "She wanted you to have this," the young woman says. "She told us he's part of their story now. He made sure they'll never be forgotten." Ethan holds the picture. His eyes sting. Laura steps beside him, watching the moment unfold. "You changed things," she murmurs. Ethan lets out a breath. "All I did was open up a wall," but he knows that isn't true. Not anymore. "You did more than that," Laura says. Her hand closes around his. Her grip doesn't waver. "You stepped in when everyone else stayed quiet. You kept going when walking away would have been easier. You gave two lost people their dignity back. That matters, Ethan. It matters a lot." Ethan turns to the memorial, the photos, those young faces, the plaque with their names carved into metal. They arrived in Jackson for joy. They died because David dared to speak up. They were hidden for 47 years. Their families carried a lifetime of pain. Their killer never faced justice. Then Ethan knocked down a wall. He refused to let the story fade. Because of him, David and Angela became more than victims. They became symbols. They became remembered. And in the end, that was a kind of justice. Not the justice they were owed, but the justice one man could give. The justice of remembering. The justice of refusing to look away. The justice of caring when no one else did. If you enjoy this story, kindly like and subscribe for more. Thank you.